is going to start. Good evening to everyone here and anyone who's going to come in. Well, you're not here to see it, but good evening to you. As you can see, I'm doing a bit of a chroma key experiment. I have it's a green Zelda shirt on with some yellow words on it, and it's a good way for me to test how sensitive things are, or what I can do, or just appear like a floating head, woo, spooky, in front of you all. Let me get my... by the way, if none of you have had these, hey, apparently I chose the green Diet Coke too. These are like the new Diet Coke flavors. Ginger lime is really good. All of them are good. But, hey, non-alcoholic cheers, right? Alright. Here's our dice roller. Just as we're used to. Except it's a little bit bigger. Come on now. I don't know why it's being a little rambunctious here. Oh well. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. Boom. Nice and easy. Alright. So, if any of you are new here, this is how we're going to randomly generate a character. And as we generate the character, we're going to come up with a backstory for the character. We're going to pull this character from the mists of the ether, and they will coalesce right before us. None of this is stacked or randomized or predetermined. This is all going to be on the fly. This is going to be a good warm-up for storytelling, for character creation, to think about campaigns that you want to run or that you've participated in, for PCs, NPCs, DMPCs, monsters, I guess, in a way. We had a character in one of the last sessions that you might be able to classify as a monster. Delcorin says, I'm drinking a 25% Faygo Red Pop 75% Diet Pepsi blend. That's a very interesting blend. How did you stumble across that? While you're typing the tale, we are going to roll 2d10 for the race and sub-race. So we're going to change this to a 2. Hit roll. We have 10 and 10. Now that would normally be... I guess in some way like a maximum, right? We kind of rolled 100 on the D100. However, we are going to re-roll 10s because in the player's handbook there are 9 races. So let's do this one more time. 8 and 3. Oh, so the sub-race being an odd number, I'm sorry, isn't the third sub-race. It's going to be option 1. 1 is odds, 2s are evens. Next up, we are going to roll a percentile, and that's going to determine the gender of the character and or if this character is multi-classed. 1 to 45 is female, 46 to 90 is male, 91 to 100 is multi-class, and we'll roll again. 79. So we have a male 8, subrace 1. Our alignment is going to be determined with 2 percentile dice, or sets. 24 and 98. This is going to be a chaotic good character. As we come down to the chart that I've statistically weighted, 1 to 60 is our first good, neutral, or evil alignment. As you can see, I weighted the population that we'll be generating to be more good than not. And then now we have 1 to 20, 21 to 90, and 91 to 100. And our second here was 98. So we have a chaotic good character coming up. Next is our level. We're going to roll 1d100, so change the number if you're using this generator. If you're using dice at home or another dice generator, that's fine too. 40. Come back down to my distribution table here. A 40 is going to make this a level 8 character. You know, getting into the good juicy part of the arc. And that'll receive our second stat bump, presuming that we do receive those. As we come down here, we're going to roll a 1d100 and determine if this character has feats, because in 5th edition, feats replace your standard ability score increase, or your ASI, as some people abbreviate it. 29, nope, so we're going to face 2 ability score increases. Next is a 1d12 for the class of this character. Roll it. 1. This is going to be a bard. No, this is a barbarian. Yes. Barbarian, and then we're going to roll a 1d2, or, you know, odds and evens. Flip a coin, that's a 1d2 also, to determine which barbarian archetype we're rolling. So we'll do a 12 again. 9 odds. So it's going to be the first one, which is a Berserker. Right here. Delcorian says, I wanted a Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi one night, and all I had was Red Pop and Diet Pepsi, so I figured, why not try mixing them, and bam. It's a good, that's a good origination story. I believe it. All right. Oh, you know what? Pardon me. A little stuffy here. If we look at our races, we have a half-orc. This is going to be a powerful barbarian. Half-orc, and now half-orcs don't have sub-races in an official capacity. So what I've done for our consideration of background and storytelling is to say, well, here we have half human, half something else for several of these races. Does this character favor one half over the other? On a 1, this is sub-race 1, right? Odd numbers. They're going to, he is going to favor his orcish half. If it was an even number, he would favor his human half. Just as a half-elf would for the elven and human, or the tiefling, the devil, or the human side. Excellent. We'll get to the chart on the second page for height and weight. While we're here, let's whip up a D13 in the custom dice slot and roll it. This is going to give us our character's background. Oh, everyone say hi to Nisa. She just... Well, I guess she's... Are you coming and going? What are you doing? Hi. What's up here? No, she might be a little shy. Roller 13. Our background is going to be number 12. Background 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is going to be a soldier. Ooh, this is going to be a very direct... this is going to be a very direct barbarian. Not on the keyboard. Excuse me, ma'am. She just wiggled under the monitor. I guess now that monitors are too thin for cats to land for warmth, they just have to swirl around them and see if they can get any inch they can take. Now for the soldier, we have what kind of a soldier we were as a sort of an other or an extra in the background. That's going to be a D8. However, as we're going to roll 2 personality traits, which also require a D8, let's be efficient and go 3D8, and we'll fill in from there. Roll 3D8. We have 4, 4, and 6. Soldier, and we'll put 4. And as a placeholder, 4 and 6. And we'll go back in and fill in that information once we scroll down to where it is in the player's handbook. Next, we roll 3d6 to determine the character's ideals, bonds, and flaws. This is a bridge of fluff and crunch, or, you know, rules, statistics, and role-playing, and thoughtful insight in character building. There's our 3d6. Hit roll. 661. Alright. Now, with that out of the way, we can come down and fill in a little bit more incidental stuff. For age, we are going to roll a percentile. 17. Alright, so here under character starting age, 1 to 5 would have been a child prodigy. Not too many of those exist, but we're willing to entertain the idea that they can. 6 to 35, young adulthood. That's where this half-orc is going to come into play. Now, you don't always have to write this at home with your character. I put it down for purposes of displaying it to you all. If you go and you watch this or rewatch this on YouTube when I post it, that way you know the phase, and also it's an obvious note for us to come up with a backstory for this character. This character is a young adult in half-orc years, because that could be very different from a young adult in elven years. Because if you look here, a young adult in elven years is starting at 100. They start adulthood after most humans have passed on from natural causes. Now, as this is a half-orc, they do mature a little bit quicker. We have them here at 14, and this is information gleaned from the book, or, you know, it's your world. Maybe they mature even more quickly, and then they just have a shorter lifespan, or they just mature quickly and have a longer one. It's up to you. As long as it works and you can explain it as a DM or as a player to your DM, make it happen. So if that's comparable to a human, essentially, this is about a 10-year spread. For humans, I had it from 16 to 25. Why don't we do a D10? We'll do 1 D10 and add that to 14. 4. Our barbarian is 18 years old. We come up here to half-orc. A half-orc's height starts at 4'10". In order to determine how tall this character is in a random fashion, we will roll 2d10 and add that many inches. 11 inches. Alright, so we have 4... we have 2 is 5 foot, so 5'9". 5'9", and we'll hit delete there. We take this same modifier that we just generated, this 11, and we're going to multiply it by 2d6 pounds, and then add that to the base weight. Turn the 3 to a 2, hit roll. Oh, come on, there we go. 2. Okay, so we're going to add 22 pounds, 162 pounds. That's all lean, mean muscle right there. Yes, Bobo, it is a tiny orc. Sorry, I guess I got into a groove here. Let me address chat real quick. Bobo says, yep, barbarian half-orc goes very well together. Zelda, a good half-orc supporting orc? That'd be interesting to explain. Or, a good half-orc supporting orcs? Okay. Bobo 5240. Well, there's always good might mean something else for an orc than a human. Zelda replies, this is almost as vanilla as you can get with a PC. So says the floating head. So yeah, he's tiny, but look, you know, he's 18. He's still kind of scrawny, like he's just building up, you know, that like really compact, lean muscle here, and he's gonna go in and as a chaotic good force. Well, he's gonna do something. We have our inspiration filled in. I think everything random that we could roll has been rolled, and I don't have to worry about a spell page on him. bring forward our good old-fashioned pahub. Starting with our background, because backgrounds will give us skills and equipment and other things as a part of the background exclusively. That will then allow us to go back to our race and our class and make choices for things like skills, other starting equipment, and things like that a little bit easier, because some of those options have already been filled in for us. Charlatan, Sage, coming up on it, Sailor, Soldier. Our soldier variety was a number 4 that we rolled. This is going to be Cavalry. Okay, so we've made Young Guts from Berserk and the Golden Age arc. If any of you are familiar, then hopefully you got a chuckle out of this too. Alright, so he was in a cavalry of an army someplace. His background feature is military rank. And in abbreviation, this means that anywhere you go that they recognize you as a friendly force, or they will recognize your rank, you can ask for some supplies or transportation or other means of temporary support. All your backgrounds are going to give you something similar. If you are an acolyte and you're a member of a faith, then where you go, you could be put up for the night, and you might even be able to get cheap or free accommodations for your friends. So room and board, favors, political or otherwise. Your background is again this bridge between fluff and crunch, between role playing and dice rolling, like ROLE playing and ROLL playing. Plus, it's also a good way in storytelling to take a lot of the minutia out of the game. Do you have to track every pound of cheese you carry? If you can just go to a town and reasonably they know who you are and are willing to feed you a pound of cheese of their own accord? And plus, you did something before becoming an adventurer. Very rare is it that someone would just be born into an adventuring family. Not that that can't happen, that could be cool. But these people were barkeeps or soldiers, or they were in a faith, or they just lived out in the woods for a while until nature called. Oh, boy. Before I get into typing in the personality traits and all that, let's fill in our skill proficiencies, just for sake of efficiency, and that I don't skip them over and have to come back for it. We're going to get athletics, bink, and intimidation, bink. We get a proficiency in one type of gaming set, and I'm going to put question marks here because I would love your all's feedback. What kind of a gaming set would you see this character be proficient at? This is dice rolling, this is dragon chess, 3 dragon ante, if we want to stick to in-game games. Otherwise, you could just say, checkers, or he's good at, horseshoes or something along those lines. But anyway, he's going to be proficient in some kind of a gaming set. So as we continue to fill him out, if something just really says, oh yeah, that's it, leave it here and we'll fill it in. Hi, Velian. Yes, I am now a magical floating head in the PDF. I'm doing a bit of a chroma key test. I'm wearing a green shirt with yellow letters that say, it's dangerous to go alone, take this, and then there's a sword underneath it towards the bottom. And, this is just kind of how it was, because I wanted to see, is it weird? Does it cause glitches? How sensitive is the green? So we're having fun and rolling with it. And this Diet Coke, there's these new ones that came out. I ended up even grabbing the green one of these too. So I'm being very transparent with you all tonight. I'm holding nothing back. Gaming set and vehicles, land. So he could drive a cart if he needed to. Equipment that he's going to receive. Insignia of rank. That could be medals, that could be maybe even like a signet ring, or a particular hat, or set of flags, or I don't know, something along those lines. Then we have a trophy, and I'll put question marks here too, what kind of a trophy would this person take off of an enemy? A dagger, broken blade, piece of a banner. I don't know, tooth. If we wanted to go back for the gaming set, the equipment we're given are a set of bone dice or a deck of cards. I'll put cards for right now unless we have something better. Which does remind me... Oops. Oh, what happened, Velian? Oh. You know what? I am going to fix that because I found myself doing it too in other channels where you just want to say, ha ha ha, kind of like what you did there. I will be taking care of the capital bot for the next broadcast. So just roll with it for now. And on the back end, that was one of the things I meant to tweak. So I actually appreciate you doing that, Avelian, because you reminded me, hey, fix it. Anyway, I think it only stuns you for a round, which is 6 seconds. So just in case, can you type something back, Avelian, just so I can see that nothing weird happened? Deck of cards. Common clothes. Belt pouch. With, yeah, 10 gapas. Yes, we must have long strings of caps. Hey, sometimes you have to belt out that, that lull or that, ha ha ha. Kind of like the Joker is famous for. Okay, so our specialty was cavalry. We did that. We have our feature of military rank. Now, ooh, come back. Our personality traits. In punctuation marks, yes. Our first one is 4. I'm full of inspiring and cautionary tales from my military experience, relevant to almost every combat situation. So he's going to be that type, in the middle of battle, he's going to say, and I was on the battlefields of so-and-so, and the archers were cresting the hill, and all we had were so-and-so, and thus and thus. And as he's, just like slaughtering people left and right, apparently, he's going to tell this tale about how to survive if you can only put up with him. I mean, if you can only just defeat your enemy. Oh shoot! All right, erase our last one. I think it was a 2. If I was wrong on that, can someone just ding me for it? But I think we had a 4 and a 2. I'm haunted by memories. There we go. Of war. I can't get the images of violence out of my mind. This can still work together very well. He has these cautionary tales. Maybe he's acting a little bit like a babysitter on the battlefield because he's seen some stuff. Even at 18, this Half-Orc Barbarian has seen some things. And it's left him a changed person, a scarred person. But instead of being like this hard, brittle scar, he's flexible. He still has this fresh, like, pink hue of life to him. And so he is going to be warning his party members about what to do and what to look out for. Maybe he can handle a lot of this stuff so that they don't have to worry. Pardon me. How rude. Ideals. 6. Nation. My city, nation, or people are all that matter. I'm going to make the note up here that he favors orcs, as that was the sub-race that we rolled for him. So we have that in the forefront of our minds for processing. So if he had an orcish mom, he loves his mom a little bit more, or he wants to fight for his people more than he would for someone else. Not that he wouldn't otherwise, but maybe, I don't know, let's say he got hired onto a mercenary band who was going against an orc raiding party. He might wear the traditional war paint, and he might kill people in combat, whereas the other soldiers would say, oh, no, we need to cleanse this place, you know, put everything to the torch, you know, make sure that there's no orcs left anywhere, even young ones. Maybe he wouldn't go that far. That could be favoritism, just as well as flat out saying, nah, I'm only going to work for orc clients and or other half-orcs and go from there. Next up, our bonds. This was a 6. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. This is cool. He's almost turning out to be like a paladin barbarian, a barbadin. Especially being chaotic good. Interesting. And flaws because we're all flawed people. The monstrous enemy we faced in battle still leaves me quivering with fear. Ooh, okay. I think this is going to feed now into his personality trait. And this is going to give us something that we can theory craft, we can work into his story somehow. Valiant, yeah, and there's Barbarians too, which are a very interesting combination. I had a 3.5 Barbarian in one of my campaigns, named Jib Mountain Shaker. He was very interesting. He kind of invented metal music, except there wasn't electric amps, so it's just the way that he played his instruments and shouted at the audience instead of singing. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Come back up to races. Now we're going to come down and find our half-orcs. Went a little bit too far. Tieflings, there you are. Hi, half-orcs. We have a strength bonus of 2 and a con bonus of 1. We're not going to order at age, alignment, size, speed is 30. Yep, you are humanoid, medium sized. Dark vision, 60 feet. Menacing, we gain proficiency in the intimidation skill. Now, being a soldier, he already has proficiency in this skill. That said, as a DM in this case and needing to make a call, I would say, well, player, it's up to you. We kind of have a free skill floating if you can link it to being a half-orc or to being a soldier, since each of them granted this. So you can't just say, oh, yeah, I want sleight of hand. You're going to have to convince me why I should give you this third one. And so I'm willing to take suggestions from you all, too, about where we should move this dot that we have free floating. Relentless endurance. When you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. You can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. Especially good for raging barbarians, because you tend to get hit a little bit more often. Savage attacks. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice one additional time and add it to the extra damage of the critical hit. And then we get some languages. Common, orc. Nice and easy. And fortunately, we go straight from races into classes, and who's first but Barbarian? As a placeholder, 8th level is going to get 8 D12, since D12s are the hit dice of Barbarians. That'll be a good reminder. Armor, we get light, medium, shields, weapons, simple and martial. No tool proficiencies. Saving throw is strength and con. Chills. Skills, choose from the following: animal handling, athletics, intimidation. There's that intimidation again. Nature, perception, and survival. Velian asked what kind of soldier was he? He was in the Cavalry. You also ask, have you ever tried the alternate sheet, the one with the skills noted by abilities? Yes, we did a character like that last week, and I will do another one again this week. And there's a third alternate form type character that I think I'll just make a broadcast. I'll do one on one sheet and one on the other, just to showcase the differences. And you can see for yourself, of all these official sheets, which one you like the best. Well, given that he's a half-orc and a soldier in the... Well, he's a soldier in the cavalry. If he was in the cavalry, and we have this free intimidation point flowing, I almost want to say he should put this in animal handling. That way he knows how to better drive the horses underneath him or the wagons. So this isn't choosing the proficiency. This is you coming to me as your DM saying, look, I have this overlap. The soldier background skill is giving me intimidation, and being a half-orc is giving me intimidation. What can we do? In this case, we're going to look at your background. Okay, you're around a lot of horses. Why don't we give you animal handling? Bada boom. So now we get to choose 2 from this list. I think something like athletics would be... Oh, that's already taken. Oh, because that was taken off of soldier. Haha. So really all that's left is nature, perception, and survival. Perception is really good, especially if you're a mounted unit. So now, do we go int for nature to know what the berry is, or we go survival, which is just to find berries that you're pretty sure you can eat. I'm going to lean towards survival, because that's foraging for food, and not just for you, but, to put your horses out to pasture, that kind of a thing. Ah, okay. Yep, Avelian. Yep, animal handling. He knows horses. We're on the same page. PDF or otherwise. Okay, we get to start with a great axe or any martial melee weapon. 2 hand axes or any simple weapon. An explorer's pack and 4 javelins. Well, why don't we give him the great axe? He's going to need... Well, he has javelins for range. If he can get a simple weapon... Maybe we can give him something kind of unique. Simple weapon, simple weapon. Club, dagger. Ooh, a great club. He unga bunga bonks people. Hand axe, javelin, light hammer, mace, quarterstaff, sickle, spear, unarmed strike. I kind of like the great club, just for thematic purposes. Plus, we're getting some damage type spreading. Whoops. We'll fill in our X when we get it. And a great axe is 1d12 slashing. There we go. And lastly, we get Javelin, and we're going to put X4. Javelins are... There we go. 1d6 piercing. Excellent. He can give a spread of damage and he can take it. As a class feature, we're going to get Rage. There's a lot to Rage. So he's kind of, you know, as a wizard, you have to manage spell books. Well, as a barbarian, you get to cast a spell called Fist. And you get this kind of spell book through your Rage that gives you certain properties and other things that you can do. For purposes of this broadcast and video, Rage is, I'm going to list Rage, and we can always come back and read it or explore it later. If you have a particular question, leave it, and I will come back to you with an answer for it. Also going to get Unarmored Defense. Con plus Dex plus 10 if you're not wearing any armor. So yes, they can make the stereotypical chainmail bikini actually put in work for armoring yourself. Reckless attack. You get advantages on attacks, but you also grant advantages against you. Danger sense, which makes them excellent trap finders, if only because they blow it up, but they don't get hurt by it. Primal Path we're taking is Berserker. Pardon me, sorry. Frenzy. You can go into a frenzy when you rage. If you do so, for the duration of your rage, you can make single melee weapon attacks as a bonus action. That's nice. Mindless Rage. Intimidating Presence. You can use your action to frighten someone with your menacing presence. When you do so, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you and must make a DC saving throw. Very cool. And we don't have Retaliation yet. Zelda, problem with Frenzy is the exhaustion after using it. Yeah, that can be. Exhaustion is something that I would rather take if I'm in a fight and we can rest afterwards. Otherwise, you have a cleric friend with lesser restoration, or just be able to sleep it off the next day. It's kind of a strategic use, but I'd still recommend, hey, you have it, use it. Alright, and the other is the Path of the Totem Warrior. We're not going to worry about that. Under class, I kind of... Let's do this. There we go. Consult the chart. Our proficiency bonus at level 8 is going to be a +3. And we get our 2 ability score improvements. Starting up here, so strength and con are important. Dex is going to be important as well. But we do have some wisdom also. We should go... $15, $14, $13, $12, 10, and he's not the brightest bulb in the box, but that's fine. We didn't give him knowledge nature for a reason. Adding in our stat bumps, our racial stat bumps, this is going to go to a 16, as will Khan. Bobicus, I just came back from DMing my first ever session. Oh, cool. Tell us how it went. Ups, downs, all arounds, laughs, people saying, ugh. What happened? What happened, Bobicus? Bobby says I did Tomb of Annihilation, didn't read enough of the module, so I basically threw them to Nyanzaru and started rolling the random encounter table. I presume that I haven't read that one yet because I've been reading Curse of Strahd for a group in the store. Is that the BBEG, or at least a figure of notable and ill repute? Valiant's advice is correct. If everyone had fun and wants more the next time, it means you are a success as a DM regardless of what happened. We get 2 ability point bumps. We did not roll for feats. This means we can either cap out one of his major stats now or spread it out. Because remember, on an ability score adjustment, you can increase 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. And I think we should bring Strength to 18, Con to 18 for right now. So this is going to change to a +4, and this is going to change to a +4. That's going to change hit points, and that's why I'm saving hit points for later, because if you increase your hit point or your con modifier later on, you're going to have to add hit points for all the other levels that you have, since you would have had that amount at an earlier point in time. So D12 plus con mod is 4, so that's going to be 16 at first level. And then we have seven. Okay. Plus 49, 55 is 65 hit points. Boop. Zelda Master says, I never want to see another undead after finishing Curse of Strahd. Yes, I can imagine so. Though they did present some cool undead in that mod, too. To figure out our attack bonus, this is going to be proficiency plus the relevant stat. This is going to be a +7. All the way down. And then our appropriate mod to the damage. Cool. Now we just need to fill in the numbers down here. +4 + 3 is 7 because he's proficient. Same in con. The others we're just going to carry directly over. +1, -1, +1, +0. I mean, Acerak is a lich, a demi-lich. Do play it if you want to see some dinosaurs in their feathered glory. Been playing Tyranny of Dragons of late. Module isn't as good, but the combat is fun. I've heard mixed results from different products, and also the same product can affect other people differently. Maybe that really motivates them and they had a great time. Other people are like, yeah, I'll sit this one out. Here we have Dex. Our Dex is going to be a +1. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling down. +1. Animal handling is Whiz, which is 1, plus proficiency is 4. There it is. Okay. Arcana is Int. Super duper easy. Let's not think thoughts. Let's take actions. -1s all the way around. And charisma is 0. Bobo says, yeah, a good DM can make any bad story major fun, but so can a bad DM ruin any campaign. Bobicus replies, I probably railroaded a bit too much, but it worked out because they're new, and new players feel comfortable on a railroad. I can give them more freedom next time because I'll have read the book. Yes. That's a good attitude to take. They don't know any better, right? They've never been through this story. Yeah, you're presenting something that's ahead of its time, but maybe you're toning it down, or maybe you're doing those things where, boom, you know, he spanks the characters, and they're like, oh, and then he says, you're not worth my time, and he leaves. Meanwhile, that lets the characters level up and continue traveling. Armor class. He is wearing the chainmail bikini, and by that I mean not really much. So, Dex plus Con is 5, plus 10 is 15. Initiative is Dex, plus 1. Alright, we just need a couple details, and this character is out of the way. We need a name, eye color and type, skin color and type, and hair color and type. What are your all's thoughts, chat? Don't have to worry about spells. Javelin, going for the grayskin orcish archetype? I can dig that. Maybe he rides something more exotic than a horse Bobicus is bringing up. That's true. Maybe he is. There we go. He's celebrating his orcish side more, so his maybe he got a little bit more orc DNA. He has this dark gray skin and very pronounced tusks. Come on, eye. There we go. Black eyes, but a shock of red hair. Now, Bobicus, do you, by a shock, do you mean like he's bald except for it looks like a little like torch flame, like a little woo on his forehead? Is all of his hair red, or is it another color but he has a streak of red? What are you talking about with a shock of red hair? Maybe a chupryna. I haven't heard of that offhand, or it's not familiar. It's not coming to my brain. If you want to define what that is. A chupryna. I think I pronounced that close to correctly. Chupryna, a chupryna. It kind of sound. You gotta put the little bit of an accent. The chupryna. It's a Cossack haircut. Oh, gotcha. All right, Bobicus. I'm picking up what you're putting down. In fact, we'll just call it as such here. A red chupryna. Chupryna. Today I come back, I have red chupryna, but my wife, she does not understand, she does not accept. Bother to her. Now, do you want to give him the stash too? Or just the, kind of little wave of hair? Or if not a stash, or a stash and a beard. You know, kind of what I'm doing here. You know, you're thinking, this is good thinking rhythm. Tusks can be painted red in place of the stash. Oh, that's true. Look at that. Okay. Really, like, so if I was good with like a quick photo edit, I'd really just trim around here. I'd trim around the stash, flip it upside down, so this becomes the upward tusk here. This one here becomes the upward tusk here. That's wonderful. Oh, this is... You guys are... You're amazing. I love it. Tusks as the stash. Okay, lastly, for any of you out there, and even if you've been lurking this whole time, throw something out. We need a name. It is a half-orc. It can be a human name, it could be an orcish name, a blend of both. Maybe he's just called Rar, or something along those lines. But we need to give this character a name. Combo of Russian and Orcish. Oh, but it's probably for the hair is what you're talking about. Thought you meant for a name, but even then in a name we could probably do something along those lines. Oh, we got some names coming in. Delcorin is bringing up a couple here. Zilgay, Bugrush, Carthrg, and Mulsha that Bobicus is adding at the end. I'm kind of digging. So let's Zilgate Bugrush. What if we go? Oh, get up here. I need you, cursor. How about this? Mulsha Bugrush. At your service. I ride the beast. I swing the axe. I tell story. I see many things. Valiant's throwing in a Vychegda. Well, you know what, Evelian? One was already picked, but let's do this. We have this chaotic good cavalry with a Cavalry Barbarian. You know, he's out there. He does things for people. He fights for people who can't fight for themselves. He wants to have some notoriety. He's got this colorful hair, and his tusks are almost like this mustache that he's painted to match. And so we will go, you know, maybe this is the human construct, is to give him a first, middle, and last name. And so when he goes and announces himself, it's not just Mulsha. It's not Mulsha Bugrush. It is Mulsha Vychegda Bugrush. How's that sound? You got to say it with that oomph, that projecting voice, that kind of barrel chest. Well, for what you all can see it at home, because I have the chroma key shirt. Mulsha Vychegda Bugrush is here to save you. Mm, 14. There we go. Delcorin says, it sounds a little Italian, but that works for me. Bobo says it sounds nice. All right. Well, you know what? I believe... Babika says, nightmares can be tamed as a mount, but only if it is defeated through combat and not through might only. Then it must be shown that death is the only other option. I think I found his mount. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that could be. Maybe he has stared down a nightmare in the face, and he has tamed it. And we'll make a note here of tell you what, if what we're gonna do is take a quick break. You know, get up, stretch. You know, kind of blink any sleep sand out of your eyes. Get a Diet Coke or some water. You know, if you have a pet, you know, pet your cat, let your dog out. You know, tell your significant other that you appreciate him or her in your life, and we'll come back and take care of this and slap a name on the nightmare who has this this condition that he had to have been tamed first. So let's take a short rest. Be right back in about 10 minutes or so, and go do what we were gonna do. Let's put away this music and find the happy tavern music. There we go. Okie dokie. I'm gonna go. I will be back at the microphone, or well, I'll be back in my chair shortly. I'll be chatting a little bit because I don't want to eat in front of you all, or if I'm gonna do stretches or something. So I'll be at the keyboard and mic soon, and I'll continue these conversations as we clear off the character sheet and get it ready for part 2. And what's going to be interesting is for this next part, we're going to create a complementary character randomly, but we're going to create a complementary character to the one that we just made. And so later on in this week, we're going to take these two and we're going to take them on a special journey together.